Hey everybody, it's your boy J-Boo, and today I'm going to be talking about the drama series Shogun. Oh yeah? If you haven't watched Shogun yet, well, we can't be friends. Just kidding. But if you haven't watched Shogun yet, spoiler warning. I'm going to be talking about the characters, and I'll be sort of ranking them based on how I feel they did throughout the show. So, I guess the main person of the show is Lord Yoshi Toranaga, was played by Hiroyuki Sanada. The way it was kind of mixed for me. Yeah, from the beginning, you know, he really encapsulated how a daimyo of feudal Japan acts and sort of feels like it's legitimate. You know, the way he moves, the way he carries himself, it's pretty damn good acting, dog. From episode 1, I didn't really know what to think. I just thought he was a careful planning person. A very calculated individual that seems to have a plan even when no one thinks he has a plan. And I kind of felt that his relation with John Blackthorne, who was played by Cosmo Jarvis, I don't want to say appropriate. I want to say more towards they had a really authentic seeming relationship. If that makes any sense. Probably not. That shit. Long story short, I give Lord Toranaga's character an eggplant. And an eggplant symbolizes beautiful acting. Beautiful acting. And a poop, well, self-explanatory. And then a meh. Meh. Yeah. Let's talk about Mariko. Mariko was the translator for John Blackthorne and a vassal of Lord Toranaga, who I think they have this father-daughter like relationship. She's very cunning. She was I felt like she was portrayed beautifully by Anna Sawai. She had this very traditional demeanor, but the things she does are more than traditional. Especially banging John Blackthorne. But hey man, sometimes they got a pillow, you know? My favorite scene with Mariko was with her trying to get out of Osaka Castle, and a fight scene occurs with Samurai trying to keep her in and Samurai trying to get her out. And she also picks up a big spear thing. I don't want to say little. It was huge, and starts fighting back herself, which was pretty badass. And that being said, I give her an eggplant. Yay. Alright. Speaking of John Blackthorne, let's get right into it. Cosmo Jarvis. I hated his character at first. But that kind of rolls into authenticity, where I did not like the fact that he was so stuck to his own shoes. You know, he couldn't adapt at first, and which kind of like made me want to give him a poop. But as the story progresses, he also progresses, and well, he eventually becomes a hatamoto, which is a bannerman, a prestigious bannerman for Lord Toranaga. And I kind of felt really bad for him at the end. Well, good and bad. Good because, well, he became a samurai. Bad because, well, Toranaga's probably gonna keep burning his ships. Yeah. But by that time, you know, hey, you might not want to leave. and like, not just his character development, but how his character development impacted other character developments was beautiful. And with that, I give John Blackthorne an initial poop, but an eventual eggplant. Good ending. Fumi Nikaido, who played Lady Ochiba no Kata, there wasn't that many scenes with her, but when there were, she really did mask the presence of Lady Ochiba well. In my opinion, she's very cunning, and really not much to say. I wish there were a little bit more scenes, but in total, I'll give her a disfix. It's good, but I wish there was more. Usami Fuji, played by Moeka Hoshi. She really did a good job with that character. At the beginning of the story, she had to witness her husband and newborn son pretty much commit suicide to protect their honor. Excuse me. They had to protect their honor. Her husband in the beginning of the show did something. I don't want to give too much away, but he did something that caused dishonor, and the only way to I guess keep his honor was to commit seppuku or harakiri, ritual suicide. It's hardcore stuff. Oh, if you haven't watched the show, get ready for some gut-wrenching seppuku or harakiri moments. Oh. 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 But I digress. I give Usami Fuji's character a big ol' eggplant. Takehiro Hira, Ishido Kazunari. Man, I don't think they could have casted a better Ishido, whose character is based on a real-life character that actually existed in the Senjoku Jidai period called Ichida. You get it? You just change the name to Ishido. Let's see what you did there, Netflix. He literally looked and felt like what a rival to Lord Toranaga in that time would probably probably be like. But at the same time, there were like rarely do you ever see him in scenes outside of Osaka Castle. I would love to see more stuff from him, but like Lady Ochiba, he was in pretty much all the shows, but he just came in glimpses. But when he was on there, he was pretty good. So I give him a this face. Yeah, it's a good face. Good face. Now for my personal favorite character, Kashigi Yabushige. Man, oh man, I not gonna lie, I kind of choked up a bit, man. He was the way Tadanobu Asano played him was very, I wouldn't say whimsical, but it had a little bit of whimsicalness to it, and it really made me attached to his character. His character was in both camps. In other words, he was kind of a double agent to Ishido and Toranaga. But he was, on paper, on Toranaga's side. And just the way he traverses both camps was just masterful. The scheming, the unpredictability, it kind of played well into his character's hands, and the ending conversation with him and Toranaga was, for me, it was the highlight of the whole show. It was it was a moment where two men who didn't see eye to eye at the end understood each other and understood their positions, and maybe had different visions of the future, but the way he laughed as he stabbed himself in the stomach, as his head was getting chopped off, that moment alone kind of like encapsulate who he was as a person, and it was goddamn beautiful. I'm getting choked up talking about it. Whoa. Alright. And lastly, let's talk about Buntaro, or by his legal name, Hirokatsu Toda, was also Mariko's husband. Yeah. You know, his character was made for audiences not to like him at first. He came off as the strong, proud samurai. He is also very, very good fighter or samurai. The emotions and just all the shit he had to put up with throughout the show. He had to, first of all, he loved his wife. He never said it, but you could tell by his emotions and by the way he wanted to kill Blackthorne, like every scene. And he had to, essentially pretty much had to live with Blackthorne, pretty much banging Mariko the whole time. The emotions he portrayed when he chopped off his dad's head, like it. Just saying that is just like, damn, it's fucked up. But it also, all of those things gave him such a complex situation, and the way he traversed and the way he just kept pushing forward, and the humility and respect he showed John Blackthorne, and vice versa at the end, was really heartwarming. It was heartwarming when he had to, when he helped out in pulling John Blackthorne's ship out of the water. It was, wow, what a moment. I was disappointed that I didn't see a glimpse of, we saw a glimpse of the battle, but really no fighting. It was just pretty much a glimpse of the army, but yeah, there wasn't any action at the end, which is okay. This is the fact that when I think about it, they probably spent most of their budgets on authenticity. So But what they could, they did pretty good. Yeah. And now for the events. Crimson Sky. That whole thing. That whole twist where it wasn't an army going into Osaka. It was Mariko. She was Crimson Sky all along. And that fact, that whole sequence of events was beautiful. I don't know if it was historically accurate, but by God, it was beautiful. Oh, I give that a huge. Let me get that a huge eggplant, very big, bigger than my head, please. Thank you. The event where Toranaga's brother, who he initially tried to recruit onto his side, but was already in the side of Ishido. I think in the first Shogun TV movie in 1980, the difference was Toranaga's brother came to him already stating that he was in Ishido's side, where the 2024 version, they kind of made a little twist of it, and it was kind of meh, I guess. But man, I did not like the way Toranaga's son died. Man, he probably had to commit seppuku in the afterlife just to keep his honor. Damn. That whole sequence, I give it a meh. I can't give it a poop because it was kind of surprising, but at the same time it did lead to, but I can't hate too much because it did lead to the way of the Crimson Sky being that much more surprising to me. So I give it a meh. Honestly, if we could have had like a little, oh man, that would have been great if we had a little. There were scenes where Usami and John Blackthorne, and they had these like little love is in the air moments. I wish I could have seen like maybe a glimpse into the future where, I don't know, Blackthorne's like old, because they did show a little bit of that in the beginning of the episode where John Blackthorne he woke up in bed as an old man talking to his 2 grandchildren. I wish I could have seen, because in real life John Blackthorne was based on William Adams, was a real person, and William Adams, well, he did try to go back, but never did. Tried to go back to England, but never did, and ended up, staying in Japan and having kids with a new wife there. I wish I could have seen that, and if that could have been Fuji, Usami, oof, that would have been a great ending. But I digress. I give the ending a this face. Yeah. But all in all, Shogun was my favorite TV of 2024. Actually, it's my favorite show since Game of Thrones, I would say. Yeah. And if you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend that you do. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And as always, I love you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my Patreon. I got extra stuff in there. Funny stuff. Till next time, guys.